Last time on Eclipse of the Stars. With the aid of the mysterious Moonweaver, Selene and Ren were able to stabilize the dying star Ilarion. But this only bought them a little more time before the sun would go out and consume all life in its gravity. Now, with the fate of the world hanging in the balance, Ren and Selene must visit the three scattered kingdoms of the astral sea to forge an alliance against Vorthon and his wraithborn horde. Will these scattered nations unite in time to save themselves? Let's find out. Our story begins with Ren and Selene arriving at the kingdom of Erevar, home of the skybound armada. They are greeted warmly by King Arion and his court. The king offers Selene the hand of his son, Kalin, in marriage to forge an alliance. However, she refuses, explaining that she and Ren are soulmates. The king, seeing that there is no dissuading Selene, agrees to form an alliance anyway, and so the two leaders sign a treaty uniting their nations. From there, Ren and Selene depart for Velthar, home of the Stormforged tribes. This kingdom is much more isolated and shrouded in mystery. And while the chiefs agree to form an alliance after witnessing Ren's power as the Astral Knight, they demand that he and Selene each take one of their children as a hostage to ensure the queen's good faith. And so Selene and Ren depart with a heavy heart, agreeing to the terms. But the couple's diplomacy is put to the test as soon as they arrive at the kingdom of Calum. King Corvus does not want to join Selene's alliance. In fact, he despises her and wants her dead. It turns out that Selene's father once banished Corvus from the kingdom for practicing dark magic, and Corvus has been plotting revenge ever since. However, when Selene and Ren reveal that they have brought the Astral Knight with them, Corvus changes his mind and agrees to join their alliance, though he still despises Selene. And so the three kingdoms unite and prepare for the coming war. As King Calum's daughter Lyria watches the preparations from afar, we can tell that she isn't happy about being used as a political pawn. But her concerns are put to rest when her father assures her that everything will be fine. Meanwhile, Vorthon is growing impatient. He has spies everywhere and knows that the alliance is forming. So he sends his lieutenant, the Shade Lord Malcor, to sabotage the alliance before it is too late. As Malcor's ship arrives at Selena's castle, we can see that it is shaped like a skull and adorned with all manner of dark symbols. Malcor confronts the king and demands that he surrender the city or face the wrath of Vorthon. However, the king refuses, so Malcor reveals his true form as a wraithborn beast and attacks. A massive battle erupts, but it quickly becomes clear that Malcor is too powerful. Just as Malcor is about to deliver the killing blow to the king, Ren appears and challenges him to a duel. Though Malcor easily overpowers the Astral Knight, Ren is able to hold his own thanks to his celestial armor. Realizing that he is in too much danger, Malcor retreats, promising that this is not the end. As the Allied forces regroup, we get a chance to check in with our favorite characters. First, we see that Corvus has taken control of the city's magical bridge, which can transport troops across the astral sea. He uses this power to move his soldiers into position, but he is constantly berating Selena and Ren, calling them useless and weak. Next, we see that Lyria is still unhappy about being held hostage, but she has found an ally in Kalin. The two of them have become friends, and she admits to him that she is scared. Kalin comforts her and promises to protect her. Finally, we see that Arion is trying to rally his people, but many of them are still afraid and unwilling to fight. Arion is determined to change their minds, but he knows it will be difficult. As the Wraithborn approach, Selena realizes that if she wants to win this war, she needs to inspire her people. So she goes to the Moonweaver for help. The Moonweaver is an ancient and powerful being who lives in the ruins of an old temple. She is very wise, and she agrees to help Selene. The Moonweaver takes Selene to a secret chamber where she shows her the Moonblade armor, once worn by the first warrior queen of the stars. It is a beautiful suit of armor that glows with a soft light. Selene tries it on and immediately feels its power. The armor gives her strength and confidence, and it reminds her of her heritage as a warrior queen. With the armor's power flowing through her veins, Selene returns to the main chamber where she rallies her people. She tells them that they are not fighting to save what was, but to forge what will be. The armor glows brightly as Selene raises her sword and her people cheer. Meanwhile, as Vorthon approaches, the Shade Lord Malcor strikes again, this time kidnapping Lyria and bringing her to Vorthon. The king is furious, but he knows that he cannot do anything about it. Suddenly, Corvus speaks up. He tells the king that he can get Lyria back, but he needs the king's permission to use the magical bridge. The king reluctantly agrees, and Corvus activates the bridge, transporting himself and a small force of soldiers to the other side. As Corvus crosses the bridge, he reveals his true colors. He opens fire with a cannon, killing many of the Wraithborn. However, he is soon surrounded and overwhelmed. Just as the Wraithborn are about to kill him, Lyria steps forward and sacrifices herself by collapsing the magical bridge. This cuts off reinforcements and traps Corvus and his men on the other side. Lyria then fades away, leaving behind only a single tear. As the battle rages, we see that Arion has finally convinced his people to fight. They charge into battle alongside the other allied forces. Suddenly, a massive explosion rocks the battlefield. The magical bridge is gone, and the Wraithborn are cut off from their reinforcements. Seeing their numbers dwindling, the Wraithborn begin to retreat. Ren chases after them, determined to end this once and for all. He confronts Malcor again, and the two engage in an epic battle. Malcor is too powerful for Ren to defeat, so he calls upon the power of the Astral Knight to give himself a temporary boost. This allows him to defeat Malcor and end the threat of the Wraithborn for now. Though victorious, Ren and the allies have suffered heavy losses. Selene is devastated by the loss of life and wonders if saving the world is even worth it. Ren convinces her that they fight not for fate, but for the right to choose their own. As the armies of light regroup, we see that Vorthon has arrived with his fortress, the Starfall Cradle. The fortress is a massive flying citadel that looks like a fallen star. It towers over the battlefield and fires cannons at the allies, causing massive explosions. Ren and Selene stand before the gathered armies. Selene, wearing the Moonblade armor, tells them that this is no longer a war to save what was, but to forge what will be. The armies cheer and charge forward to do battle. As the battle rages, we see that Vorthon is firing his cannons at the allies, but they keep coming. Ren and Selene lead the charge, determined to defeat Vorthon and save their world. The Starfall Cradle fires a massive blast, but it is not enough to stop the allied forces. They keep coming, led by the Astral Knight and the Warrior Queen. As the episode ends, we see that the allied forces have reached the Starfall Cradle. Ren and Selene lead the charge, determined to defeat Vorthon and save their world. And that's the end of part 3. What did you think? Let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the final part when it comes out. Thanks for watching. See you next time.